My wife's cocky coworker challenged me at her work party. He regretted it instantly. Can you imagine the moment your world tilts when trust shatters in a single glance? At a glitzy office party, Mark thought he was just another guest, until he saw his wife, Sarah, with him. Not a stolen text, not a whispered secret, but a brazen display. Her hand on Chad's chest, his fingers tracing her hip, their laughter mocking Mark's existence. Who is Chad, this slick tech bro with a grin that screams trouble? Why is Sarah, Mark's wife of years, acting like he's nothing? The air thickens with suspense as Mark's blood boils, but he holds back. Why? Is it fear or a darker plan brewing? Each smirk from Chad, each giggle from Sarah, pulls Mark deeper into a mystery. How long has this betrayal festered? What game is she playing, daring him to crack? This isn't just a party, it's a battlefield, and Mark's next move could ignite a firestorm. Will he unravel Sarah's secrets or fall to her trap? Dive into a tale of deceit, defiance, and cold revenge that'll grip you from the first spark to the final blow. The truth is coming. Fast. I caught her red-handed, right before my eyes. Not in some secret motel, not through texts or midnight whispers. No, Sarah had the nerve to do it in my face at her own office party. Her hand on his chest, his fingers brushing her hip. Their eyes locked like I didn't exist. The guy, Chad, her co-worker, some smug tech bro with a cocky grin and a handshake that screamed try hard. I stayed calm for now, but when his "I own this place" vibe turned on me, I knew things were about to explode. Hey man, Chad smirked, sizing me up. Sarah says you're into wrestling or something. Sarah's nails grazed his arm, her fake laugh scraping my nerves. Oh honey, don't be shy. Chad does kickboxing. He's legit. Maybe you two should, swap tips. I exhaled slow. So that's how she wanted to play. Chad grinned. Think you could take me? I smiled back. Why don't we see? And just like that, the party zeroed in on us. Chad's smirk grew, like he thought this was a prank. The guy loved the spotlight, loved people fawning over him, but he had no clue who he was dealing with. Sarah clung to his arm, fingers curling, on his sleeve like she was his, not mine. That cut deeper than I'd ever admit. Relax, honey, she cooed, voice oozing fake sweetness. It's just a little fun. Just a little fun. I looked at her, really looked, and something snapped into place. The way she dodged my eyes, licked her lips, leaned toward him, not me. She was testing me. Chad chuckled, took a lazy sip of his drink. Tell you what, man, let's make it interesting. He shrugged off his blazer, rolling up his sleeves, showing off toned arms that clearly knew a gym. The crowd around us swelled, voices buzzing with excitement. The office dudes grinned, the women whispered. Sarah watched, something sharp flickering in her eyes. Chad cracked his knuckles. Let's see if that wrestling of yours holds up. The air was heavy. I heard music pulsing, glasses clinking, but my focus locked on him and her. She wanted this. She wanted me humbled. Too bad for her. I don't back down. I stepped closer, loosening my shoulders, body calm, mind already plotting. Chad thought this was some cocky office showdown. He didn't know I'd spent years on the mats, taken hits from guys twice his size, and walked away laughing. He swung first. Big mistake. I sidestepped easily, letting him lurch forward. The crowd gasped, laughter rippling. Chad's face hardened. Sarah giggled, but not at him, at me. Come on, honey, don't embarrass him, she teased, twirling her hair. I clenched my jaw. Honey. She still dared call me that while glued to him. Chad lunged again, messier now, frustration seeping through his smug mask. I dodged, grabbed his wrist, twisted just enough to make him flinch. His face twisted in shock. He wasn't used to losing. I leaned in. You should sit down before you get hurt. His nostrils flared. He jerked his arm free, stance shifting, trying to act unfazed. But he was fazed. Then Sarah did something that sank my gut. She laughed, not at him, at me. Like this was all a game, like she wasn't my wife standing there with another man's scent on her. It hit me like a kick to the ribs. This wasn't new, wasn't innocent flirting. This was deeper, something brewing long before tonight. My hands balled into fists, but not for Chad anymore, for her. Sarah leaned into Chad, her polished nails, grazing his chest like it was nothing. She wasn't hiding it, wasn't even glancing my way. Chad smirked, shaking out his wrist like he was still in the game, but I wasn't focused on him. My eyes burned into my wife, the woman who was supposed to be mine, throwing herself at another man like I was invisible. The truth seared through me like lightning. This wasn't just office banter. She wanted me to see this. She wanted to crush me. I let out a slow breath, forcing my hands to unclench. If I snapped now, if I swung, I'd give them what they wanted. A scene, a way for her to spin this as my fault. Sarah finally turned to me, lips curling into a mocking smile. "You okay, honey?" Her voice was syrupy, fake, but her eyes gleamed with something else. Control. That's when it clicked. This wasn't about Chad, not even the party. She wanted out, and she wanted me to look like the villain when it happened. Chad chuckled, slapping my shoulder like we were pals. "Hey man, no hard feelings. We're just messing around." Messing around. I looked at Sarah one last time, taking in the dress, the hair, the way she kept touching him like I wasn't there. I could almost hear her thoughts. Do something. Lose it. Give me an excuse. Not tonight. I forced a tight grin and stepped back. Yeah, fun. Then I turned and walked away. I didn't need to see more. I knew what was happening. Now I needed proof. I left the party without a glance back, every muscle wired tight. I wasn't going to make a scene. Not yet. Sarah wanted me to blow up, to give her the perfect story to paint me as the jealous, unhinged husband. No way. I slid into my truck, gripped the wheel, exhaled slow and steady. My mind raced through options. How long had this been going on? Was this new? Or had I been clueless for months? No, not clueless. I'd felt it. The late nights, the shift in her vibe, the way her phone was always face down, buzzing with texts she'd swipe away fast. I pulled out my phone, scrolled our texts. Normal, casual, too perfect. She was slick, but not flawless. I opened a private tab, searched for a phone tracker. Took me 5 minutes to set up. Next time she got in my truck and linked to Bluetooth, I'd have her location. I drove home, thoughts razor sharp. This wasn't over, it was starting. An hour later, I heard her heels tapping the sidewalk outside. She was home, later than she should have been. Through the blinds, I saw her pause at the door, checking her phone's reflection, smoothing her hair like she was hiding something. My jaw tightened, but I stayed cool. She walked in, dropping her bag on the counter like nothing happened. "Oh, you left early," she said, voice breezy, like she hadn't been draped over another man hours ago. I stayed seated, drumming my fingers on the table. "Yeah, party wasn't my scene." She smiled, slow, knowing. "Really? I thought you'd have fun. You and Chad seemed to hit it off." The way she said his name made my skin crawl. I let out a low chuckle, tilting my head. "You seemed tight with him." Something flashed in her eyes, quick, faint, then gone, replaced by a casual shrug. "He's fun, unlike some people." I let that slide for now. She walked past, her perfume trailing, but it wasn't just hers. It was his too. That was enough. Tomorrow, I'd have answers. Next morning, I woke before her. Barely slept, but adrenaline kept me sharp. Sarah was curled in bed, breathing even, looking innocent. Like she wasn't living a lie. Like she didn't drape herself over. Another man with her husband right there. I got up quietly, Grabbed my phone, checked the tracker. She'd gone somewhere after the party. Not home, not a bar, a motel. My stomach knotted, but I forced calm. The location pinged at 2 a.m., long after she should have been back. She stayed an hour, then left. I had proof. Now I needed the depth of it. I dressed, went downstairs, made coffee like it was any morning. Sarah came down soon, stretching like she had no worries, kissed my cheek, mechanical, cold. "Morning," she said. I let it happen, hiding the disgust coiling inside. She sat opposite, scrolling her phone. "So, what's your day look like?" I looked at her, really looked. Did she feel guilt? Care at all? "Nothing major," I said, sipping coffee. "Got stuff to handle." She nodded, barely listening, texting. Probably him, probably Chad. I wanted to snatch that phone, see the lies, the secrets. But I didn't need to, not yet. She stood, stretching again. "I'm meeting the girls for lunch. Back later." Liar. I knew where she was headed. I leaned back, voice easy. "Have fun." She flashed a quick smile, vanished. Upstairs to get ready. The second I heard the shower, I grabbed her bag. She never left it out, but today she slipped. I reached in, found her second phone, burner, locked. My pulse pounded, but I slid it back before she'd notice. I had enough. She thought she was outsmarting me. She had no idea what was coming. I waited till she left, watched from the blinds as she walked to her car, phone in hand, texting, probably him. She didn't look back. The second her car pulled out, I grabbed my keys and followed. She wasn't going to lunch. I kept my distance, careful, the tracker updating live. Sure enough, she headed straight to the motel, same damn place as last night. My hands gripped the wheel, knuckles white. Every second, every turn, just confirmed what I knew. But knowing wasn't enough. I needed to see it. She pulled into the lot, parked near a side door like it was routine. I parked a few spots away, watched. She got out, checked her reflection in the car window, fixed her hair, then pulled out her burner phone, typed something, tucked it away. Seconds later, a silver Audi rolled up, and out stepped Chad. No office suit today, casual jeans, hoodie, sunglasses, relaxed, like he had nothing to hide, like he wasn't about to walk into a motel with my wife. Sarah smiled at him, the smile she used to give me. Chad grinned, said something. She laughed, too loud, too eager. She reached for his arm, just like at the party, and they walked inside. No hesitation, no shame. I sat there, gripping the wheel, so tight my fingers ached, jaw clenched till it hurt. But I didn't move. Not yet. Storming in would be dumb, emotional. What she wanted. A blow-up she could twist against me. No, I wasn't giving her that. I pulled out my phone, opened the camera, started recording. If she wanted to play, fine, but I'd win. I kept the camera steady, zooming as they walked through the motel's glass doors. Sarah didn't even scan her surroundings. No paranoia, just confidence, like she had me fooled. Chad's hand slid to her lower back as they hit the front desk. She giggled, flipping her hair, totally at ease. I clenched my jaw but kept recording. The clerk barely looked up as Chad slid a card over. Routine. I'd bet this wasn't there. First time here. I caught Sarah lean in, whispering in his ear. His grin widened. The clerk handed them a key card, and they vanished down the hall. I exhaled, pulse hammering. I had proof, but I wasn't done. I stepped out of my truck, walked into the motel, face neutral. The clerk barely glanced up. "Excuse me," I said, voice casual. "My buddy just checked in. Chad, tall guy. Forgot. His room number." The clerk hesitated. I slid 100 across the counter. "Just need to drop something off." Hesitation gone. "Room 612, she muttered, pocketing the cash. I nodded, turned, walked to the elevator. My mind was eerily calm. No rage, No urge to smash something, just cold clarity. I wasn't here to catch them, I had proof. I was here to end this. The elevator dinged, doors opened. I stepped in, hit the 6th floor, waited. The ride felt endless. Doors opened. I walked the carpeted hall, counting doors, 612. I stopped, listened. Muted laughter, low voices, the rustle of movement inside. I pulled out my phone, hit record, knocked. Silence. Then footsteps. The door cracked open, just a sliver. Sarah's face peeking out. Her color drained when she saw me, mouth opening, no sound. I smiled. Cold. Final. Surprise! Sarah's face went ghost white, breath catching. She looked like a trapped animal, frozen. Then she tried to recover, tightening her grip on the door, forcing a weak smile. "What are you doing here?" she asked, voice trembling. I tilted my head, still recording. "Funny, I was going to ask you that." She shifted, blocking the doorway. I heard movement inside. Chad's steps, sheets rustling, a muffled curse. He knew. Sarah exhaled sharply, eyes darting behind her before locking on mine. "Listen, I can explain." I laughed, low, humorless. "Go ahead. Explain why you're in a motel room with your coworker midday." Her jaw clenched, panic flashing in her eyes. She knew she was caught. Then, like a switch, she flipped tactics. "You're acting insane," she snapped, voice rising. "You're following me now? Do you hear yourself?" There it was, the deflection, turning it on me. I didn't bite. I just raised my phone, letting her see the red recording light. She gasped. "Are you serious? You're recording this?" I smiled, just making sure I catch your explanation. Then he spoke. "Dude, just chill." Chad's voice came, from inside. "You're making a scene." I gripped the doorframe to keep my hands steady. Sarah turned, whispering to him, then faced me, her expression twisting into fake outrage. "You have no right to invade my privacy like this." That almost made me laugh. Privacy? She cheated, lied, humiliated me, and now played victim. I stepped forward, voice low. "You want privacy? Why do this in a public motel with a guy who can't stay quiet?" Chad cursed again. "All right, man, enough." The coward finally appeared, stepping beside her, jeans on, shirt wrinkled. He ran a hand through his hair, like this was just a hassle, like he wasn't facing the man whose wife he'd been screwing. I stared at him, long, hard. He shifted. I saw it, doubt in his eyes, realizing I wasn't here to scream like some broken fool. I was calm, and that scared him. Sarah sensed it too. Her act shifted, now nervous, like she saw this wouldn't just fade away. I took one last look at them, grip tightening on my phone. Then I said, "We're done." Sarah's mouth opened, but I didn't let her speak. I turned, walked away, left them standing there. This wasn't just about catching her. It was about making sure she'd never forget who she misjudged. I walked out that hall, out that motel, to my truck. My hands were steady on the wheel, but my chest burned. Not with sorrow, not even rage, just clarity. I saw her for what she was, a liar, a coward, a woman who didn't respect me enough to even hide it well. I checked my phone, still recording. I stopped it, saved it, backed it up to the cloud. She wasn't talking her way out. She wasn't flipping this. My phone buzzed. Sarah. "Wait, can we talk?" I smirked. Now she wanted to talk. I tossed the phone to the passenger seat, started the engine. Let her sweat. Let her sit in that motel realizing she'd lost the best thing she had. I drove home in silence, mind plotting next steps. I wasn't dragging this out. I wasn't letting her manipulate me with fake tears or empty apologies. By the time I hit the driveway, I had a plan. First, I was taking everything. Sarah always acted like she was above me, like she was the catch. Truth was, the house, the cars, the trips, all mine. My name on the deed, my money in the bank. She walked into this marriage thinking she was untouchable. Now she'd learn what losing felt like. I stepped inside, went to the study, pulled up my emails, started drafting to my lawyer. No hesitation, no second guessing. Halfway through, my phone buzzed. Sarah, can you at least hear me out? I stared, debating a response, then exhaled slow and typed. Come home. Let's talk. Let her think she had a shot. Let her walk in believing she could fix this. Because when she stepped through that door, she'd realize she wasn't walking back into her home. She was walking out of mine. Sarah showed up an hour later. I heard her car pull in, the hesitant click of her heels on the pavement. She paused at the door, probably rehearsing her excuse. I didn't move from my chair, just waited. The door opened, and there she was. Hair fixed, expression a careful mix of guilt and defiance, ready to lie or flip blame if needed. She closed the door, let out a slow breath, set her bag down. Okay, she said, crossing her arms. Can we be adults about this? I almost laughed. Adults? I leaned back, folding my arms. Go ahead, explain. Her eyes flicked with hesitation. She wasn't used to this, me, calm. She expected anger, a fight, a crack to twist things. But I wasn't giving her one. She sighed, rolling her eyes. Look, I know how this looks, but you've been so distant lately. I felt ignored. I never meant for it to go this far. I nodded, like I cared. So it's my fault, she softened, stepping closer, hands reaching for mine. No, honey, I'm saying I needed you, and you weren't there. I pulled back before she could touch me. Her face twitched, mask slipping. You needed me, I repeated, letting it sink in. So you went to Chad? She inhaled sharply. It wasn't. I grabbed my phone, tapped the screen, hit play. The video rolled, the motel entrance, her laugh, her touch, the keycard, the door shutting. Her body stiffened, mouth opening, then closing, no words, no excuse. I let the silence stretch, then looked at her. Pack your things. She blinked, caught off guard. What? You heard me, I said, standing. Your stuff, your clothes, your burner phone, all of it. Pack it. She let out a nervous laugh. Come on, you're being ridiculous. I stepped closer, voice low. You lost, Sarah. There's nothing to talk about. The house, mine. The bank account, mine. Your reputation at work. I paused, letting it hang. Guess who's getting that video? Her face dropped. You wouldn't, she whispered. I smiled. Try me. For the first time since that party, she looked scared. Good. She spun, stormed upstairs, slammed the bedroom door. Minutes later, I heard drawers yanking open, clothes stuffed into a bag. I sat back, exhaling slow. It was done. She wanted to play games, thought she could humiliate me. She just learned I don't lose. Sarah stomped downstairs 20 minutes later, dragging a half-zipped bag behind her. Her face was fury, but beneath it, panic. She never saw this coming. She thought she had control, could lie, manipulate, play victim, and I'd buy it. Not this time. She grabbed her bag off the counter, turned to me, spitting her last desperate jab. You know what? You're not even a real man. A real man would have fought for his wife. I let out a slow, humorless chuckle. A real man doesn't fight for a woman who hooks up with another guy in a cheap motel. Her eyes flared. She raised a hand like she might slap me, but stopped. Maybe saw my look, maybe realized she was nothing to me now. She exhaled sharp, grabbed her bag, yanked the door open. Cold night air hit her, and for a moment she froze, realizing she didn't just lose her husband. She lost the house, the security, the life she took for granted. She stepped out, turned back, desperation in her voice. You're really doing this? I leaned on the doorframe, arms crossed. You already did. Her lips parted. but nothing came. No more lies, no more games. I locked eyes with her one last time, then, without a word, slammed the door shut. Silence. For the first time in months, the house felt calm. I exhaled, rolling my shoulders, feeling a weight I hadn't noticed lift. I walked to the kitchen, grabbed a beer from the fridge, sat down. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. Chad. Yo man, let's be cool. No need to tank careers over a woman. I smirked. The nerve of this guy. I tapped out a reply. Check your email. I'd sent it. 5 seconds later, another text. WTF, man, you serious? I sipped my beer, watching the 3 dots as he typed, stopped, typed again. Yeah, I was serious. Sarah wanted to play games, Chad wanted in. They both just learned the hard way. I don't play, and I sure as hell don't lose. Betrayal carves a wound that reveals life's deepest truths. Mark's saga, sparked by Sarah's brazen infidelity, lays bare a haunting reality. Love can mask a lie so cunning, it blinds you to your own worth. His journey through humiliation and clarity teaches us that loyalty, when unreciprocated, is a chain, not a bond. The lesson sears. Never let comfort dull your instincts. Those closest may wield the cruelest deceit. Yet, from Mark's resolve, rises wisdom. Strength isn't in raging against betrayal, but in reclaiming your power with precision. To those walking love's fragile line, take this advice. Value yourself above all. Trust must be earned, not assumed. A partner who disrespects you has already left. Watch for signs, shifted glances, guarded phones, and act, not out of anger, but with purpose. Mark didn't just end a marriage. He rewrote his story, proving that true victory lies in walking away unbroken. Let his path guide you. A life built on truth stands taller than one propped by illusions. The profound truth is this: choose yourself, always, and when deceit surfaces, don't crumble. Rise, sharper, wiser, free.